Hey guys, it's Wayne Santos, one of the editors here at CGM, and for this week's Sound Off, we're going to be sounding off tentatively about Microsoft's recent announcement of the HoloLens. Now, the tech nerd in me is still a bit miffed that they're calling it a HoloLens, since this isn't actually holographic technology. It's just, it's like augmented reality, but now we're getting into nerdy technical discussions, which we don't need to go over right now. What I do want to talk about is how interesting it is that Microsoft, at least in this one regard, is taking a different approach to the virtual reality technology that we're seeing from both Facebook with Oculus Rift and Sony with Project Morpheus. Now, the idea behind HoloLens, as far inappropriate name aside, is that it will, rather than putting you in a virtual 3D landscape, it will take virtual 3D elements and it will sit those in a real-world landscape. So basically, you put the head-mounted display on and it acts like a glorified Google Glass, where when you look around at your house, if I were to look at this laptop, it would have all kinds of things, it's like appearing in and around that laptop that I could interact with. So basically, it's taking bits and pieces of the computer world and putting them into the real world for you to interact with. Now, this actually has a lot of interesting applications. I think far and away, this is actually going to be useful for a lot of non-gaming purposes. Microsoft already had a demonstration with select journalists where they showed some of the different uses that the HoloLens could work with. One of the most interesting to me was actually kind of a tech support role where they would have people switching out just a light switch. But while they were sitting there looking at the light switch, there was a person that they were actually interacting with who was in a little window that they could talk to. But at the same time, that person was actually able to see what they were seeing and actually do things like circle portions of the light switch that they needed to take out and replace with other things. So in that way, for technical assistance, for things like computer modeling, and particularly for things like navigation, I can see how something like HoloLens would actually be quite useful. I do believe that it actually does have some gaming applications. I just think that it's a bit more limited. Now, with the traditional first-person or third-person action game, I think you're going to run into a lot of problems with those because the background is constantly shifting, and this taking elements into the real world, this shifting of the background is going to cause a lot of problems. But for more God's eye view games like The Sims or Civilization or real-time strategy games like StarCraft, anything where the camera gets pulled way back to show you a chunk of environment, I think this is something that HoloLens could actually excel very well at. Now, we have no idea what this is actually going to look like when it goes retail. It's like even the people that got to try it out, they were using very early prototypes. All they've shown so far is the promotional video, and as we've seen from Kinect, that sort of thing really looks nice on video, but it can be a far cry from the reality when we see it. So we'll just have to wait and see what this tech can actually do when we get our hands on it. See ya.